For the next step in our drawing, we're going to make the branches have leaves on our tree. And since this is a fall tree, I've chosen red, orange, and yellow pastels. So you can choose all three of those colors or a variation, maybe just yellows, just oranges, whatever you like. When you're using oil pastels and you're making these leaves, what we're going to do is we're going to put small marks around the twigs. Not so much right in the middle of the tree, but more out here on the ends. Just little small marks. And I'm pressing pretty hard so that it's a nice bright mark. As you can see, some of those reds start to show up on the black paper. There. I'm going to come over here. I don't have to be super careful when I'm drawing my leaves, because leaves, just like the trees when it grew, there's no straight lines in the tree really. Leaves can grow any which way. And from a distance, which is what we're looking at this tree, from a distance, you know, your leaves might look more like dots than actual leaves. I'm going to go back in with some yellow. And that's going to make some orange. There, and I'm going to do some swirlies and some different shapes. You're going to go in and add those dots. You can also think of them as dashes or lines. You could fill some extra empty space if you have, because remember, sometimes leaves cover up the twigs. We can't even see them all the way. So if you have any empty space, you could fill that with leaves. I'm going right on top of my branch. That's fine, because leaves grow out in all directions. And maybe there's one side of your tree that's more yellow or a part that's more yellow. It's just like how nature would do it. Now I'm going to go back in with my orange. Put some here. I'm not going to put the orange everywhere. I'm just going to put little bits of it here and there. There, you can see. Now I've got beautiful fall leaves all over my tree. And to me it looks almost too perfect, almost a little too round in a rounded shape. So I'm going to go back and make some bumps. So I'm not thinking that nature would be perfect. So I made some extra bumps in my tree. So now we have a tree, and it's got its nice fall leaves. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in our hill. And to add in our hill, you're going to need a green, any green, and you're going to need it without its wrapper. It could be the light green, it could be the dark green. I'll use the light green to start. I'm just going to use the side of the oil pastel. Until now we've been using the tip, but another way that artists use oil pastel is to use the side. You can cover a whole lot of area with the side. So first I'm going to make the line that shows my hill. This is the top of my hill. You could think of it as the horizon line. That's also where our sky is going to start. And then I'm going to fill the rest of this space using the side of my crayon. My pastel. And it's a little bit of a lighter color than if I was going to use the tip of my oil pastel. But it covers a lot of area and gives it a nice, interesting texture. Grass isn't, smooth. So this rough texture makes it look more real. Great. So there's your hill. Now it's time to add the sky. When we go ahead and add the sky, you are going to have to use probably two colors of blue. I like to use the dark blue first and then go over it with the light blue. So it's just like the grass. I'm going to use the dark blue and go in all the little nooks and crannies as best I can. I don't want to go right up next to the tree, because I don't want to cover any of my tree or my leaves. And it's okay if I have a little bit of a hole. That's fine. I'm going to turn my paper as I work, because for me, I can hold my paper still and I can direct the oil pastel a lot easier if my hands stay in one place and my paper moves around. I don't have to bend funny ways or be uncomfortable. Because when you're making art, you should be totally comfortable. I'm going to put a little more blue right in there. And now that's kind of a nice base layer. That'd be good if it was nighttime, but it's hard to see on the black paper. But it's just a nice base layer. But for more drama and a little bit more of a daylight effect, you can go on top of it with a light blue. You could even use a white. I'll show you that too. If you don't have a light blue, you could use a white right on top. I just think it adds a nice layered look. Go all around my tree, right up there. So white or light blue, right on top of your dark blue. Oops, I went over my tree there. That's okay. I'll show you how to bring your leaves back. All right, so I'm coming around here. Got that almost all done. Again, I'm turning my paper so that my hands are comfortable and they can do their best work and my paper's moving around. So there's my tree in the sky. Oh, I see a little bit of area. I just want to use the tip. And sometimes to get into the small areas, you can use the tip of your oil pastel. If you covered up any of your leaves, you can just go right on top of the blue and bring them back. They'll come right out. So now we have our tree on our hill with our sky.